We're following some breaking news. A trial judge has recommended that NYPD officer Daniel Pantaleo be fired in the case of the chokehold death of Eric Garner. The Civilian Complaint Review Board leaders and Pantaleo's attorney will now have about 2 weeks to draft a response. Police Commissioner O'Neill will then make a final decision. Reverend Al Sharpton and the Eric Garner family is expected to speak at a press conference soon, and we will bring that to you live when it happens. Did an act of revenge change the course of a local high school student's life? Well, that's what one Long Island family claims. CBS New York's Jennifer McLogan explains.
This former Roosevelt High School student claims his dreams of college, playing ball and becoming a teacher, were thwarted when the superintendent deleted sections of his transcript days before graduation.
Why? Just because you had a problem with my mother, now you're going to make sure that I don't get my high school diploma. Now I can't go to college, can't start my life.
Dimitri Funderburk-Ivy's mother explained she had a contentious relationship in the past with the superintendent, butting heads over district education policies.
A revenge act by the very person that's supposed to support him and protect him. As a superintendent of school, you're going to delete his file just to be able to say, yes, he didn't go to school here.
When Funderburk-Ivy moved and transferred from Roosevelt to Baldwin, his lawyer says parts of the high school record were mysteriously expunged. Affidavits from 2 administrators name the superintendent as responsible.
She deleted official transcripts, which, by the way, is a felony, and I am going to ask.
Right now, Reverend Al Sharpton is speaking at the National Action Network. A trial judge has recommended that NYPD officer Daniel Pantaleo be fired. Let's go ahead and listen in.
5 years after the fact, I don't know, countless marches and countless protests, and clearly this family suffering for 5 years. The commissioner needs to immediately, unequivocally accept the recommendation of the judge and do it right away. It is good for the city, not for the Garner family. The city should not have in its employ someone that would choke someone to death in violation of police guidelines, someone that hears someone say 11 times, "I can't breathe." So this decision is a decision that is good for the citizens of the city. But make no mistake about it, this is not justice for the Garner family, because justice for the Garner family would have been a federal proceeding or a criminal proceeding in the local courts. We intend to continue, if in fact the commissioner does take the recommendation to terminate, we intend to continue toward congressional hearings, toward having a law federal against chokehold by police of civilians. We met in Washington week before last with the Congressman Jerry Nadler around that, who said he was for it to happen in the fall, met with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who's on the Judiciary Committee, Hakeem Jeffries, who's on the committee in support of it, Kamala Harris, and others on the Senate committee. So that will proceed regardless. We are going to continue to fight to make sure that not only one policeman is terminated, but that the policy is terminated. To terminate Pantaleo and leave the policy where it is just something that could be violated at the whim and will of a police officer is something that we cannot allow to stand. There must be law against this. Eric Garner must be in history as the one that made it legally something that is accountable if one makes this act. I would ask Emerald Garner Snipes to say some remarks for the family.
This has been a long battle. 5 years too long. And finally, somebody has said that there's some information that this cop has done something wrong. We've waited 5 years. CCRB has made the recommendation. Commissioner O'Neill, fire Pantaleo. That's all we're asking. We're asking for the congressional hearings. We're going to keep fighting for the Eric Garner law, but 5 years is too long. Commissioner O'Neill, do your job. Thank you for your support, everyone.
Any questions?
Emerald, I see on your face the emotion on your face. Could you describe that for us? Because you said this is bittersweet, obviously.
I think I'm feeling the same way my entire family is feeling, which is it's been too long. We've been waiting for 5 years for someone to say that he did something wrong. And they finally made that decision today. So we don't want to wait no more. Make your decision, Mr. O'Neill, as soon as possible.
Reverend Sharpton, on a wider scale, you're talking about the law, you're talking about the chokehold. You've obviously been an advocate for civil rights for many years and excessive force complaints with the NYPD. On a larger scale, it makes me think, perhaps the tide might be turning with this decision. Do you think that might happen?
I don't think that we can say yet the tide is turning until we have the congressional hearings and have the law change. There's wide resistance to this from many on the other side of this. I think that there is going to still be a fight, and we're up for the fight. But I think that what today does do is act as though and clearly says, as I think Emerald said it eloquently, this is the first time someone officially said that wrong was done. In the same week that a New Yorker who happens to be president of the United States act like I just hate cops or we hate cops, Mr. Trump explained now how this decision says, no, it's not about who hate cops. It's about this man should not have been on the police force.
Tell me how you learned about the decision this morning.
I don't talk about how we got the decision, and again, we're waiting on Commissioner O'Neill. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, we have been listening to Reverend Al Sharpton and the family of Eric Garner speaking after a trial judge has recommended NYPD officer Daniel Pantaleo be fired. They are calling on the police commissioner to follow the recommendation and follow through with firing Officer Pantaleo. The Civilian Complaint Review Board leaders and Pantaleo's attorney now have about 2 weeks to draft a response. Police Commissioner James O'Neill will then make a final decision.